Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're diving into one of the most respected and, globally recognized professions out there, being a doctor. We're going to explore how a medical degree is so much more than a local calling. It's basically a passport to a worldwide career, with opportunities popping up in every part of the globe. So let's get right into it.
So let's just start with a really big question. If you're a doctor, or maybe you're on that path, have you ever really stopped to think about where your skills could take you? I'm not just talking about the hospital down the street. I mean, think bigger, across oceans, into totally new countries with different healthcare systems. The possibilities are probably way wider than you even imagine.
And here's why those possibilities are so real. Unlike a lot of other jobs, medicine is a career that has this incredible, consistent, high demand in literally every single corner of the world. Health and healing. It's a universal language, right? And that makes being a doctor one of the most mobile professions you can possibly get into.
Okay, so that brings us to our first section, which we're calling the global calling. And we chose that name because right now, the world's need for skilled medical pros isn't just some number on a chart. It's a real, critical need that's being felt everywhere.
So what's behind all this demand? Well, it's kind of like a perfect storm of factors. You've got aging populations, especially in developed countries. You've got a global rise in chronic diseases. And on top of that, there's this constant growing need for specialists in everything from oncology to cardiology. Put that all together, and what do you get? Incredible job security and just a ton of opportunities for doctors no matter where they are.
So we get the why now. The demand is huge. Let's move on to the what. Our second section, the professional blueprint, is all about what it actually takes to build that solid foundation for a career that can take you anywhere in the world.
And let me tell you, this path is not for the faint of heart. It's a total marathon of dedication. It all kicks off with a bachelor's degree, and then you've got 4 super intense years of medical school. But that's just the start. The really crucial hands-on training happens during residency, which can be anywhere from 3 to 7 years, sometimes even longer, for the really specialized fields. And then finally, you have to get your license and board certifications just to be able to practice. It's a huge, huge commitment.
And the skills you need? They go way beyond what you can learn in a textbook. I mean, of course, you need that deep medical knowledge and razor-sharp diagnostic skills. But what I find really fascinating here is all the other stuff. Empathy, being a great communicator, leadership. And if we're talking about a global career, that last point on cultural sensitivity, that is absolutely non-negotiable. It's the only way you can really build trust with patients, no matter what their background is.
All right, so you've done the work, you've got the skills. Now, where can you go? This is where it gets really fun. In Section 3, we are mapping the opportunities. We're going to look at some of the best places to work and, yes, the kind of rewards you can expect as a qualified doctor.
Let's talk money first, because it matters. Looking at the data, you can see that the UK, the US, and Canada are offering some of the highest average salaries out there for physicians. Now, obviously, these numbers are going to change based on your specialty and experience, but it gives you a really clear picture of how much medical expertise is valued in these countries. But it's about more than just the salary. What's really cool about this breakdown is the detail. So the US is a powerhouse for its advanced tech and huge demand for specialists. Canada, on the other hand, is really known for its universal healthcare and a better focus on work-life balance. Then you've got places like Australia and Germany that offer a fantastic quality of life, plus a big need for doctors, especially GPs, or those willing to work in more rural areas. Every country has its own unique vibe.
Okay, so you're probably thinking, this sounds amazing, but how do I actually do it? Well, that's what our next section is all about, navigating the pathway. This is your practical guide to making that dream of practicing medicine abroad a reality.
So the very first thing you have to understand is that this is not a simple process. Not at all. Each country has its own very specific and often pretty complicated maze of rules for visas, for recognizing your degree, and for medical licensing. It takes some serious planning and a whole lot of research.
And these images really drive that point home. It doesn't matter if you're aiming for the US or the UK, there's no single one-size-fits-all path. Every nation protects its healthcare system with its own set of hurdles. You could be a top-tier surgeon in your home country, but to work somewhere else, you're looking at completely different exams, different language tests, and a whole separate immigration puzzle. It's a process you've got to approach with a lot of respect and preparation.
Now, trying to figure all this out can feel, super overwhelming. But the good news is there are modern tools that can help. For instance, AI-powered immigration platforms like WanaVisa.ai are designed to do the heavy lifting. They can analyze your specific profile against different countries' rules and actually help you map out the clearest pathways. It really helps simplify all that complex research.
So what are these hurdles we're talking about? Well, first, you've got to get your medical degree officially recognized, which is its own bureaucratic adventure. Then comes the big one, passing these tough equivalency exams, like the famous USMLE in the States, which is the United States Medical Licensing Examination. It's basically to prove you're on the same level as locally trained doctors. Then you'll likely have language tests, and of course, you have to get a valid work visa. Only after you've jumped through all those hoops can you even start thinking about getting your license to practice.
Okay, this brings us to our final section, where we're going to look ahead. Section 5 is The Future is Global, and we're going to touch on the trends that are making medicine more connected than it has ever been before.
And let me tell you, the future looks bright. This quote from our source material really says it all. The global demand for doctors isn't just strong, it's sustained. It's expected to continue for a long, long time. This is a career that offers incredible stability.
And the job itself is changing in really exciting ways. I mean, think about it. The rise of telemedicine means a doctor in one country could be helping a patient in another. New tech like AI is completely changing the game for diagnostics. And as the world's population changes, we're seeing huge growth in specializations like geriatrics and oncology, creating these new pockets of need all over the globe.
And that brings us right back to you, and a personal question, but maybe with a bit of a new spin. With all these opportunities out there, this massive demand, and all this new technology, where in the world will your skills be needed the most? It's a really powerful thing to think about for your own career journey.
So, if you're a doctor or medical student and you're feeling inspired by all this, remember that taking that first step is usually the hardest part. For a really smart, personalized analysis of your career and immigration options, checking out resources like WanaVisa.ai can give you the clarity you need to actually start that journey. Thanks so much for tuning in.